Welcome to the Super Gold Juniors Key Chart Signals and Analysis. This is Morris. I want to begin tonight by looking at the SILJ. Of course, this is an ETF, the basket of silver stocks in this portfolio. I want to review my calls dating back to the beginning of September, where I called for a strong September rally that would run up through the middle of October, and from that point to look for a trend break. The trend break did take place with a gap lower. From there, I called for a strong move down, and that happened, and then a move back to previous highs. We did chop a little bit and channeled, but 2 weeks ago, I made the call that I was looking for a momentum-based rally to continue. And then the same thing as I mentioned back here, look for a trend break. I believe that trend break did take place this week with another gap down, and I'm now expecting a move back to around 20. But this chart is really only part of the story of what's going on, and the other part of the story can be seen by looking at the CDNX. This is such a outstanding opportunity in a corrective action. And what I'm noticing here in the charts is that many of the senior miners and the metals themselves have taken a hit, but we've had very little movement, downward movement in the CDNX. Now the CDNX as a proxy tool, it's an index that I use for an all clear, and normally in any kind of corrective action in the metals, the CDNX goes down faster and harder than the other parts of the metals market. That's not the case this time. We're actually holding up in a very strong, resilient way, and that tells me we are going higher in the once we're going to chop here for a while. Look, we're overdue for that, but the resilience here in the CDNX cannot be understated. The CDNX advanced line down here, the is the main part of the chart, and it's literally broke out to a new high this week. That happening in the face of corrective and trend break on the gold, silver, and the gold senior and silver senior miners is phenomenal that we've broken and holding these highs in the CDNX. And one individual issue that I want to highlight is Benz. Now this one does trade in Toronto, BZ.V. This one is setting up, interesting, with an inverse head and shoulder formation. And I'm looking for a breakout on this. Now, Benz is another hot stock that comes out of the CDNX, and we've booked profits on it before. Let's buy a breakout of over $1.70. In other words, we've got some headwinds on the broader markets. Let's let this market prove itself. If we break out over $1.70 with some volume, we need to see more volume on this. If that happens, that opens the door for further movement in the breakout and will be a nice trade. We've obviously booked some winners and holding cash positions, so we're pretty much ready for whatever the market brings our way. Now, I do want to talk about the special offer, and it happens to be the Super Gold Juniors newsletter. So if you're watching this video as a guest and not a paid subscriber, well, here's your opportunity. Now, it's been a wild week to end the year with margin hikes and position limit changes for futures traders in the metals. So we've seen that, and that always puts pressure on a market when they do this. It's a rug pull. I see a stock market correction, and gold and silver are due for one too. What's interesting is the phenomenal action of the juniors positions through all of this volatility. We've seen very little price downward movement in the junior space. We've got some of the hottest ones at the Super Gold Junior newsletter, and this product is a great service. $249 a year is a superb value. We have a whole junior silver miners portfolio, and I'm doing a Happy New Year's special offer this week of $199 for 14 months. To qualify, just simply shoot me an email. We'll get you on board with this great service. That's all for now. This is Morris saying thank you.